speaking of being prepared, I'm gonna bring up another topic that we have beat this entire season. Okay,
let's beat it again.
So Terry Rozier,
hi dead horse,
career shooter, 32, 33%,
yeah,
38%.
The stats don't matter.
This season he is shooting 44% from the field. However,
that must not be right.
However, the last 3 games that we're talking about, Phoenix, Golden State, and Brooklyn, he has shot 56, 50, and 57% from the field. These are actually the only 3 games the entire season that he's shot above 50%.
Right.
So, anomaly or signs for the future?
It's signs for the future, and I'm going to tell you why. Not just because I said this, because I said last week I think he is trending upwards, okay? I'm going to go back to our favorite guy ever, Mr. Kemba Walker, who was not a good shooter his first 2 seasons in Charlotte at all. Teams would go under screens every chance they could and let him shoot an outside shot. I'm not saying Terry Rozier is going to be Kemba Walker.
Devontae Graham is.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah. But I just see the same upward trend that I saw with Kemba Walker back here. It's a guy that worked very hard on his shot in the offseason. I've seen plenty of video that prove that. And it's showing improving in itself in these games lately.
Those summer videos don't work, man. You see how Melo's played before.
I'll admit, when I saw the video of Terry Rozier shooting shots, I got a little excited because it was like, oh my God, Terry Rozier is having such an intense workout. When I go look at the video and he's just doing hook jump shots, like,
but
was so special?
Listen, whatever the case is, he obviously worked on his shot, and it's obviously paying off right now.
Yeah. So what you got, Rodney?
Like I've been saying, the consistency with the playing time, and I hate to say this, he's not a true point guard. Which is fine. Which ain't really a big deal. So basically, that whole responsibility on his shoulders of running the complete offense might have been just a little bit too much for him too soon. And so Graham is more of a natural point guard. He sets people up better and allows Terry to move off of screens and picks and get open jump shots. Like his catch and shoot percentage is very high.
So Terry is turning into a very nice catch and shoot 3-point shooter.
The argument should no longer be 2 things. One, whether or not Terry Rozier is good. He's a good player. I don't think anybody can argue that. And the argument should no longer be whether he's worth his contract.
I'm glad you said that.
So the argument should be, is this sustainable long term?
Right.
This particular 2-guard setup that we are running.
And I think that's a fair question.
I do think it's a fair question. I know we joke a lot in our Hornets group about the advanced analytics and whatnot, but I do think that is a fair point. This is an unorthodox backcourt, even though we're shooting better than any other team in the leagues, which is amazing. But to have 2 undersized guys in your backcourt is a little bit unorthodox. So it just remains to be seen how effective.
We got to get better at that front court. Speaking of, everybody's lovable player, Mr. Nick Batum. Let me explain to you guys the anomaly that
Producer,
he is.
do you have blood pressure medicine available?
So I went and looked up his stats the other day to try to find some sort of correlation to the Hornets' win and losses with his play, and they're literally all over the place. When he plays only 11 minutes a game, we sometimes win, we sometimes lose. When he plays 30 minutes a game, we sometimes win, we sometimes there is no discernible stat that you can relate to Nick Batum and say this is when we lose and this is when we win, except the plus or minus.
Oh boy.
The dreaded plus or minus. So when Nick Batum has a net positive plus or minus, the Charlotte Hornets are 4-2 on the season. When he has a net negative plus or minus, the Hornets are 1-6. And I can't remember, I think it was like 11 games. In the 11 games that Nick Batum missed, the Hornets only went 4-7. So with as much as we hate Nick Batum, what comes to your mind when you hear those stats?
Here's what comes to my mind, and it's the perfect culminate. It's the perfect explanation as to why Nick Batum is so frustrating, because he has the tools. He has it. He's a skilled player, but he just doesn't bring it every night. That's it. All those stats you just threw out, that's the simple explanation right there. You get what I'm saying? When Nick Batum is aggressive, when he's actually making his shots, when he's actually looking to take his shots, it helps the Hornets. When he actually decides he wants to play defense and rebound, we win games. But it just doesn't happen enough. And that is the frustrating story about Nick Batum and his salary.
I know he got his ass whooped a lot as a child. he deep. What's the French word? Laissez-faire.
Laissez-faire.
Like he's just like so. I'm tired of the French pastry. It's just like he's just like, yeah, I think I'll play today. You miss it. Like it's just so frustrating. It just moves on.
And and here's the frustrating part about Nick Batum. Last week on our pod I said I don't care if he goes 0 for 10. I would be happy that he's being aggressive and shooting the ball. That's how low the bar is right now. And I can't remember which game it was. I want to say it was the Phoenix game. That was a game he got hurt, right? Where he re-aggravated the finger.
Right.
He took 2 shots.
I hurt my finger that game too.
5 minutes.
He took 2 shots that game. And neither of those shots were 3-pointers. They were both inside the 3-point line. And I think one was a drive and he pulled up and he hit both of them. And I'm like, this is what I'm asking for. If Nick just shoots the ball, he has the skill to hit.
Listen, man. I want to go back to something. I want to go back to a time where he first joined us, and it was right before he got his money. What happened? I just want to know. What Nick Batum, if you can contact Under Construction and let us know, is it
block us?
Is it mental? Is it physical? Because I specifically remember we used to run so many plays for Nick Batum coming off screens. He was excellent in the screen and roll with Cody. He was so involved in our offense, and we were so much of a better team when he actually cared and when he was productive. And we have been asking for this Nick Batum back for like 3 years now. We're probably not ever gonna get it again, man. I just want to know what happened, man.
Yeah,
I think the pressure got to him. I mean, you're the highest paid player on your team, and you are a highly sought after free agent. Something that a lot of Hornets fans
don't want to acknowledge.
Yeah,
right,
but
right.
Everybody wanted Nick Batum on their
like
team.
25 teams,
right? And he.
I wish Dallas signed him.
Me too, man.
So he comes to the Hornets, and now you make more money than the best player on your team. So he made way more money than Kemba. That's a lot of pressure, and I think that he just couldn't handle it.
The pressure really got
I think he likes to be laissez-faire, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if you can make it work. But in his case, it just it's like, dude, you get paid $25 million a year. You can't be Skinny Boris Diaw. So
much.
I think that's all it was. We've seen that a lot from players. They get paid, they get that contract.
Don't get me started on Boris Diaw.
Yeah, well, hopefully he decides to turn the corner at some point, because I'm gonna remain true to the belief that this team is a lot better than what predicted, and maybe they can make some noise later on.